Hey Dreamers, this is Place, and today we're going to continue with the Cyber Street. And the Cyber Street, we did the airco condition thing. I don't know, like the outside thing where you attached to the wall. Basically, that's what we did in the previous video. If you have not seen that one, you know what to do, of course. Just like watch them if you're curious how I build it. Today we're going to continue with that particular sculpt. I'm going to paint over it, so we're going to make it a little bit dirty. That this has been like seen some weather and stuff like that. So we're going to like do that in this video. And depending on how much time I do have left, maybe I can already start a new sculpt, but that depends if I will keep in under the 1 hour mark. As you can see, I made now a collection of the of my sculptures that we have done so far in the Cyber Street series. I know that the wall was the longest one. I'm very sorry for that. I'm still not happy with it, but I'm not going to do that on my videos anymore. Maybe a dedicated one like later on, because like I still need to tweak those things. But I made a collection now, so I can like easily find my stuff back that I make for this YouTube series. And so let's go straight into it. Not going to talk much bullshit intro. Okay. Well, I'll first like to show you. This is like what we did in this last video. We sculpted a old airco thingy. I did made everything out of one sculpt. I decided to do that instead of like having the roster into sculpts. I was first thinking to do that, but to be honest, it's going to be a small prop and you're not going to even see it like from that close in the scene anyway. So it like is from this distance. So it's more of like a filler into the scene instead of that it's like something that you need to check out from closer view. Now, I will of course keep in mind that I can or will use this for later on. If I'm going to like use it for other projects, then I'm considering to keep the detail as high as possible. That's what I'm thinking about. Also, I saw when I was like closing down the recording, I saw I forgot one side of this thing here. So that's what we're going to fix first, and then we're going to paint. So let's go into the edit mode. It is 2%. And we're going to hover effect off. I don't like hover effects. Of course, we can reduce the graphics again. I'm not sure if I will get the 1% again. Yeah, we can get the 1%. So it will still look okay, I guess. So now it's like 1%, but you can see like the graphics are also like the quality is also a little bit down now. But again, it's a very small prop, so you're probably going to need it. I removed the scene behind it. I can like return this, but I will do that once the whole painting is done. Because like you should never use other props into your single asset, of course. That will yeah, don't do that. But I only do that so I can like test out, so I can test out how it looks and stuff like that. That's why I always like pull up those other things with me. All right. What do I need? All right, we need to fix this first. So we're going into stretch, and then I think a grid was on 180. I'm not sure, to be honest. There you go. And yeah, well, that was an easy fix. Yeah, I saw that. I don't understand why it was not doing it in the first place, because it's, oh no, it's not mirrored. Never mind. No, never mind. I thought like, why is it not like doing it automatically? Because I thought like I mirrored this, but I did not mirror this part because this whole thing is in mirror instead of like this. And we cannot move, sadly, we cannot move the mirror. I really wish that Molecule could find a way to do it. I know that it's like, I know they said it like 2 years ago that like the tech behind the mirror, how the mirror works in Dreams, is not like easy to like move the mirror. But I really would love to see. I mean, everything is possible as long you have the resources for it. That's what I always said. Always say. Okay, there are a few slightly things that I I think the model is fine. I think the model is fine. Let's paint. Let's not talk. Let's paint. Well, we need to talk, but otherwise it gets so quiet. Unless you don't want to, unless you don't like to hear me, but you can always like turn off the volume of YouTube itself, and the problem is solved. All right, so the base colors. I'm going to like make manual preset colors for myself, and then I'm going to like find everything like that. I'm going to make this a little bit beige color, so we got like bone skin kind of color, like this, and I'm doing it layer for layer. So I first doing the first layer, like the first color. Then we're going to add like other layers on top of it, so it like become a thing. I can do a little bit of like combining some colors, like this, and then say flip. All right, yeah, I kind of like this. It's a little bit like a bone white color, and that's just one tap. We need to be careful like not to paint too much on it, because that will increase, of course, the graphics as well. What I'm going to paint first, that is a good question. I think that this part, the cables, is maybe a very good way to do first. So let's do that. I can just do this with like darker paint. It's around here, let's say gray. And we're going to, for server snap. Now this is going to be a little bit like challenging, but if we're doing it, I should maybe have done the cables a little bit later, but we can do it. Not that we cannot do it. Although I can paint over the cables as well, because they are black as well. But this is gray, and I'm going to make the cables a little bit more darker in tone. So it doesn't really matter if I paint over the cables, to be honest, because that will get darker anyway. I still probably need to, like, yeah, I don't know, like, how exactly I'm going to make this look like, but it's just, the fun thing is, like, everything that I'm making, I've never made this before in any program. Like, everything that I make in Dreams is all for the first time, so I always need to see what my approach is going to be, because it's for the first time. All right, so that's what shall we do the bottom as well? Like, yeah, we can do that as well. Yeah, that is fine. Yeah, we can do that as well. So yeah, like, because like it's for the very first time I'm doing this, I always need to know like what is the best approach for certain sculptures. Going to get a little bit more trickier, because okay, I think I'm going to get rid of the server snap, because that is not going to make things easier for me at this angle. But yeah, so like if you're going to sculpt something you've never done yourself, like look at some reference pictures, look how the object looks, and approach. Or if you have something in your own room, look at that like particular object and look how that is made. Like, look how it's been carved out, like how, not carved, how that like it's designed basically. And then just do it. And the fun thing about Dreams is you cannot really make a mistake. I mean, you can make a mistake, but then you can just like easily like redo your mistake. Pretty fast, pretty easy. I love that. And with other 3D programs, of course it's possible, but it's getting a little bit more annoying if you made a mistake along the way, because then you need go into the 3D like polygons and stuff like that. But this is like more of like, yeah, playing with clay and like sculpting, like forming the things. I really love Dream so much about this. All right, so we do the cables a little bit darker. I'm going to use a sphere. Not going to use Server Snap again. Oh wait, maybe the. All right. Okay, never mind. Let's do the top as well. Let's keep this up straight. I almost forgot. Is it the same? Should be, yeah, it should. Just make sure. Reason why it's darker is, of course, that the sun is not like catching this part. But yeah, I really love, like, this is always like for me the most fun part to do in Dreams, like painting, because that will make your creation come alive. I know I've already said that in my previous video, but it is true. Like, it's really fun to paint. And I'm not really like the best at like painting textures, because it is quite a lot of like work to get like if you really go for like a realistic kind of texturing, that will take some time and practice to go with like okay, so to go with like an yeah, with a certain texture that you want. But luckily most of like the objects in the world don't really has much textures, at least like the things that I'm making right now. And of course it has textures, but it's like it's easier to add up. Like for example, like wood texturing, it's not that hard, but it depends also what style you want to go for. I have like a certain style to make my wood. If you're curious about that, I have videos of my sculpting videos, and you can see how like how I do those wood carvings. So if you like go on my YouTube channel, and there are like really a lot of like wood sculptures that I've made on my YouTube channel. So you can see over there like how I approach the wood sculpture. And I'm not going into like a high resolution texturing, because like I don't really need that. I don't really need high textures because like most of my sculpts are for in game, and it's not going to be a realistic game or anything like that. So I always keep the bare minimum in the texturing. All right, so we did now this part. We did the cables. I do like it. It's and eventually everything is going to get lit up, of course. So we need, of course, having a sun gadget eventually to see how it looks with like with certain light and everything like that. But that will come later on when everything is placed. All right, I think that this is fine. Let me see. I think we can do the rest of the painting. The rest is all. No, let's do the roster first. Yeah, let's do this first. So this is going to be quite light. We're not going to make it white, but we're going to like do a lighter tone, so it looks like it's made out of metal. I'm not going to use a square for this. I'm going to use we need to get rid of this, but I'm not going. I need to be more precise. I'm just gonna paint everything over it. We don't need to worry. If I go a little bit like above the edges, that's totally fine, because we're going to like paint like the dirt around it. So that's like totally fine. I'm going to tap I can also, of course, like use like subblend, but the problem with subblend is that I will also hit the edges more easily, so that's why I'm not doing subblend on this part. So if you were curious about that, I really need to be more precise on these things. I mean, I can do a little bit like of the... Like, it doesn't really matter if I hit like the edges a little bit. That gives a little bit more dynamic in the overall. And especially when we're going to paint the whole thing and make it alive. Okay, so that is the roster. We can maybe go... No, I will do that later on. I will add the I chose for a 3D roster. If you don't want to put so much detail for yourself, if you're going to make something like this for yourself, and if you don't like to have like a 3D roster, you can also just like pretend it's 3D and make it like out of painting. But keep in mind, painting costs more. So know what you're going to do about that. Don't know why these edges are not really painted. Why it's not like filling up here. Don't know why that is. I'll keep it like this. It's totally fine. We need to add more layers on top of it. I will first do the roster with the layers. So we're going to go for a little bit darker now. And I'm going to do my favorite technique. I don't know why, but this has me like made my stuff so much easier to do things in. Now we're going to need subblend. I'm going for yeah, a little bit subblend, not too much. A little bit subblend, and also the opacity a little bit lower. Make this a little bit smaller, and then we're just going to paint like randomly over this roster. So you get like a little bit like darker spots. And this is so fun. Like we're going to add like layers on it, and I love that so much. So if you're like, for example, want to do something yourself like this, it's like one way to like if you want to make like your sculpt like become more like it makes sense, and just layer them. You will increase the quality of the graphics. That's something you cannot like avoid. Okay, so now we're going to add like another layer, and this is going to be white. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I probably need to... Okay, this is not really... I probably need to go a little bit less opacity here. Careful with this part. The reason why I'm layering this is because like I want to give the feeling that this thing has seen some weather in the past. It has seen days. Like this thing is like, I don't know, maybe 100 years old. I don't know. No, well, maybe not 100 years, but like, but like 30 years old or something like that. So I really need to like give that vibe on the sculpt so that it has seen the days. And also because it's like blowing air from the inside to the out or outside to the inside. Depends what type of it is. All right. I'm not that happy yet. So I'm just going to add a little bit more stopland. Going to, and then we can add up like another. I will never use that much of like. Wait, we can use bone white for this. And now I'm just going to do. Actually, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Looks. That's going to. Now I'm just going to do some edges here and there. A little bit brighter. And maybe let's not do subland at all. Maybe a little bit opacity. The thing is that like it already looks a little bit like smeared and blurred is because the quality of the sculpt is already a little bit lower. Okay, and we should not forget that we also need to add like extra settings on these. We can like make this darker eventually. I'm not gonna do that yet, and also like that it needs to shine a little bit, not too much though. I think 40 or 45 maybe is good, and metal, a little bit metal look, not too much. Let's say 20%. So this is sort of what it's going to be. I'm not going to do this yet because like I need to do the paintings. That's what I'm first going to do. All right, I probably need to like go a few times on this. Now we can do the rest. And I'm going to use the same technique, basically. We need to... I think I'm going to do first to do a little bit, like, darker. And... can twist it a little bit around. And make it a little bit dirty. Maybe let's not twist this. To be honest. Let's not do that. Okay. And is it smart to do the sculpt a little bit higher and see how that looks? Let me try that first. Because I really need to know how it looks on higher. Okay, I will build from this part on. So because I can see a little bit of what I'm doing. Of course, I need to like downscale the quality again. But this will be a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to like place a little bit of like random dirt. And this is also going to be layered, so we're going to add a little bit red for rust. Like brown red. Don't want to add to like make tiny little details because that's not going to get away eventually if we are like downscaling the sculpture again. But if you want to like have a high quality, then it looks like this. And if it's going to, I don't know. I'm really curious how it's going to look if of course like if it's like 1% again. But I rather want to like work on this first and see Wait, that makes no sense. I'm now doing. Water is not going up. Okay. Condense is always down. Here we should have the. Okay, and of course we can have a little bit of like rust going on. I don't know what happened here. This part. Fix that. Cannot remember that I. Let me fix this. Okay. Go back to this. So. Or did I use a little bit darker? I think I used a little bit darker. Let me. Alright. I'm going to do edges, but I can like make the thing a little bit. I don't want to like paint too long on the sculpt. The longer you paint, the more graphics you will add on the sculpture itself. Okay, we need to do things on here as well. Because rust is everywhere. I think maybe this is a little bit smarter if we do it in mirror modes. Save me a little bit of time. Saves me some time. Let's do this in mirror modes. Zoom. Oh, now we're just getting a little bit like too excited with it. This is why if you make something like this yourself, keep in mind that making it first mirror mode will save you a lot of time, because now I don't need to do the other side again because it's in mirror mode. Of course, like if you have like designs like this, then you can't really do that, because like I already said, like you cannot like move the mirror mode. Sadly, I'll get rid of the mirror mode. So but as you can see, like if you're going to paint over it, the object, it makes it authentic, and it's going to get like a little bit more like, I'm not going to say real, but because like it has a certain style that I'm going for. But if you want to like make something like this yourself, you can see that painting is very important to do so. Very important. Okay. And of course we are, I'm not sure how much graphics is now. It's 4%. Let's see how it looks now if we're going to downscale it again to 1. Or maybe 2 is fine as well. I think 2 for this prop is fine. And it still looks good to me. I'm going to raise up it again, because I really like to. Let me put it on 4 again. I will downscale, of course, in the end, but it's easier for me to paint on things. I can see what I'm doing. This is so fun. I love this part. Also be careful not to overdo things. Like it still needs to feel natural. I'm not really sure about this part. I think I exaggerated a little bit on this. I will fix that. But I need to layer it on anyway, so I will do that anyway later on. That's a little bit silly. Painting is a little bit time consuming, but it makes your asset alive. Going to do the top a little bit. I would like in the previous video, I said I was going to do something on the top. I think we need. I think there is something that I still need to put on top, like a little, like that the air can, like, I don't know, like filtering or something like that on top. So I'm probably going to add something on top here as well, but I will do that. I will do that later. I first want to get the painting as much done because I want to keep in the 1 hour mark. I can go, if I go a little bit over it, it's fine. If I know that I can still do it in like 10 minutes over the time, then so be it. But I try to aim for the 1 hour mark. Okay. That looks okay to me. Now we can do the backside. If you're ever going to use this, of course, for other like sceneries. I'm not going to do this in mirror mode because that will look very ugly. If I do it like this, you can see that like it looks very ugly. So I need to do that like center part always manually. You know, otherwise it looks really weird if you do that. But things like if they are like a little bit further away from the sculpture, you're not really going to see the like the repetition unless you're really paying attention to it. If you don't like that, you can always like turn off the mirror mode anyway, and then like do it like adding manually some things on it. And I'm like a little bit exaggerating here. All right. Small detail, you're not going to see much, but we do something here. We do need something on this because it looks weird if that is going to look clean. Okay, I'm going to do this manually because now we're getting closer to the center. And I don't really like when things are looking mirrored in the painting. Unless they are a little bit further away, like I said, then it doesn't really matter. I'm not really sure why I'm doing now also this. I think the reason why I'm doing also the backside is simply because I may be considering to use this sculpture in other creations in the future. So, and of course I'm also going to upload everything on eventually when it's finished. I will add this also on the Dreamiverse, so that everybody can use my sculpts if I would like to, or if you want to have these sculpts. I eventually will release those because, yeah, why not, right? So people can maybe find other reasons for it to use it. You can make like I don't know, a puppet out of like a walking airco. Something like that. Would be cool. All right. I think I'm oh, I think I'm almost done. Okay, I kind of want to do this side. Oh, right. Yeah, we do that need to do manually because I don't have this pattern on the other side. So I cannot like do this in mirror mode. We need to do this in the manual style. Going to add like random. So a little bit like I don't want to let it like it. I don't want to like make it that is like it's look too clean. Like I said, it needs to be as it looks like if it's has seen its days. All right. I think I'm good. I think I am maybe a little bit in the front as well, although yeah, you're not going to see this. Do we? Side, we can put it inside a little bit. I could do this. Yeah, I should have done that, didn't I? But it's fine. Not really a big of a deal. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Okay, I think that part is done. I can do maybe already a little bit on the top painting. That's what we can already do. But I'm not going to use this anymore. I am going to use a little bit of like a square, and then we're going to use soft blend for this. Opacity as low as possible. And I can maybe put a hole inside. And paint a little bit over it. Like it's dirt. And we can do that on the rest of the sculpture as well. But I'm going to keep the low. A blend a little bit higher. Put another layer on it. So it's not going to be like one color anymore. I'll tap it very softly on it. But just enough so that it's like blending over the item. Do that on the back side as well. I'm not, yeah. I know, well, like I'm flipping the circle, but it doesn't make any sense why I'm doing that. It's a circle, Jackta. Okay, I don't. Just softly tapping. Okay. I think we're good. I think we are good. Okay, so now we do need some tweaking and settings. Oh no, we're not good. We're not good, Jackta. I need to add some rusty rust. I'm not doing it everywhere. I'm only doing it on some parts. But I'm going to add like a little bit of brown red. So I'm going into manual color. And go a little bit to the brown side. Fine that. A little bit more red, but then like combine it. Oh, what? One. Why is it not doing it? There you go. I guess this. Oh. Alright. I'm only doing like certain parts of it. Okay, opacity is fine. No sub blend is also fine. I think I only want to like do it at certain parts of the sculpture. We're going to add a little bit more redness to it. Maybe we can use a little bit more opacity. But just that, like, it gives a little bit of that rust feel. Can do that here as well. But I'm not doing it everywhere. Like, I really want to like do it very subtle on this. But it gives a little bit more. So you're not going to see it, especially not if you're like further away from the sculpture. Already like really like high detail. Not high detail, but like it's going to put something here. A bit like red to it. Yeah, I don't think that I need to add too much on it, because we're seeing the item a little bit further away. But it really gives you a good, like, if I ever want to like consider to move like the camera closer to the object, because I sometimes like to have like close-ups, and you can see a little bit more detail on it. So I'll keep that in mind for things that I do or maybe go to do that in the future. So that's why I adding details like this. Okay. Maybe here as well. Don't do it too much, Jacta. So. Okay. I think that's good. And now we just like need to. I'm just going to add like something new on this. Color picker. And a cylinder. No painting. Actually sculpt. I think here. No subblend. Maybe a tiny bit. So that the edges are a little bit smoother in. There we go. And before I'm going to. Okay, we need to add this a little bit small. Something like that. Not a cylinder. One sec. Why is this not? There you go. Just a little bit like that. And here we need a like board. So we're going to make that cube. Probably need to be a little bit smaller though. All right. I think that's it. I think that is it. So now we only need to paint these things as well because they don't they look a little bit too clean. So we're going to do the same stuff what we did earlier. Hole inside and opacity is fine. No grids. And then this. Oh wait. This one. Take hole inside. And then we are almost, whoops. And we are almost done with this prop. Like I'll do it a little bit of like on edges. And we can do like a little bit of like rust in here as well. Like something like this. Okay. I'll come back to that one later. Because I need to do this one here. Little bit condensed. What's like it's like going down there. And then like it's almost finished. We all need to make this a little bit more. I'm going to make it more darker. So like it's like the roster is like it's blending in better. That's what we're going to do for the last. But before we're going to go into that, we are going to finish this first. So we're going to do a little bit of like rust here. A little bit wrap brown. Wrap brown. Sorry if I'm I had the shining. For some reason I had the shining in my head. If you don't know what that is, then don't worry about it. Little bit. I'm not sure if I should do. I think I'm just going to paint this a little bit more, but I will do that with this one. This is going to be a little bit tricky though. Going to lie. Going to use top blends. Should have done this in the beginning though. Before I was actually like adding something on top of it. But it's fine, we can do it still. Okay. Looks good. Let's use more subblend. I'm slowly tapping around this thing here. Like so. And we can do that with the whole top. Alright. So that blends in a little bit better. I am thinking to make this a little bit bigger. Like so. That feels a little bit more natural to me. Okay, did I forgot something? I don't think so. We all need to do the roster. And then like some tweakings in the settings of the sculpture itself, and then we are done. Okay, so we can do... I'm going to make this a little bit darker, so we're going to use black. But I'm going to use soft blend this time and the opacity as low as possible. And then we're going to like softly paint over this whole roster. So that like it's going to blend in a little bit better. Still, I think it's good. Having a little bit more control over the roster itself. I think that's okay. Not really sure. We need to see it in the scene, of course. All right, let's do the settings. So we do need a little bit of like shiny, but not too much. I think like 50% is more than enough. And then we're going for some metallic. Not too much, 25% is fine to me. So now it looks like it's like bouncing the light a little bit better. I do need to like test this, of course, with some sun gadgets. See how that looks, if it's going to be daytime or nighttime. I think that the reflection looks okay to me. Let's put it down. How that goes if it's a certain... Yeah, I think that this is okay, actually. I don't hate it. Maybe it's still a little bit too bright, but we also need to like downscale the sculpture again, because the sculpture is still... Oh, the sculpture is still 4%. That's way too high for a sculpture, especially for a prop like this. So just going to pull it back to, I think, 1%. 2%, maybe 2%, because we already painted on it. Let's see how far we can go, by the way. Can we go to 1% again? Yeah, we can. There we go, 1% graphics. 1% thermo for this thing. I think that the roster, we still need to maybe tweak a little bit on the roster itself. So I will just do that. Make sure that it's blend in a little bit better without losing too much what we did earlier with the layers. All right, I think I'm done. I think this is it. The echo. Let's see how it looks in the scene. So we're going to place the previous stuff that we made, and I can now find things easier back because we have now a a collection, so I can now like drop everything flip like that into the scene window, flip, and the staircase, flip, and the thing that goes under, 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 flip, and the All right. Flip this around. Like so. And then we can place this. Or I can also do this. So that thing is staying in place where it should be. I'm not really sure where. I think I like it to have it a little bit like above the window, like here. Pull it a little bit behind. Yeah, that's fine. All right. This is it. I can do like a little bit of like what I said, like with smoke. I have 5 minutes left, so we can do something like that still. Let's do that. Not going to do good stuff for this. Right. Opacity as low as possible. To be gray. Little bit. Your here's also the okay, maybe I don't like the style this that you okay. This is like a little bit like playing around with the setting. Be a little bit more opacity. Or something like that. It's barely visible, but we can say that out a little bit. When this is best. Don't want to spread it out too much. A little bit of like jitter. This one doesn't really work. Why is the spread not working? Maybe we need something else. No, this is a positional. Now we need. I think maybe this. Very hard to see now. No, I think that this is fine. But I am going to move a few ones aside so we have a little bit of like so. Does it make any sense? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it goes a little bit too fast still. 32%. I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine. So that's it. That's we are in the 1 hour mark. We are done. It's done. All right. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the sculpture that we have made. We did some additional smoke coming out, like it's more of condense. Because like the thing is probably not working. It's the fact, I don't know, like it's but and you also maybe know like how to make smoke a little bit. This is how you do it. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. The next video we're going to make more assets, of course, for this scene. I don't really know what is going to be yet, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, slowly but surely we are going to, of course, finish the whole street. We're going to do some neon lights eventually. There will be some things on the top as well, some like pipes, some like steam pipes or something. I don't know, like there's so much like still we need to add on this particular thing, but we now have I think that I still need to paint these parts, by the way, or not. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video of the cyber streets. And yeah, I don't know which one it's going to be yet, but you will find out pretty much soon in the next week. If you have not followed me yet or subscribed, you know what to do if you like my content. I do need all the support. I'm not really sure if I already said this, but if I reach 500 subscribers, I'm going to do a little bit more on the side of dreams content. I will also going to like do something new. So I'm not going to say yet what, but I will announce that when I have received, or when I like, yeah, when I get like 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, then I'm going to announce something for you guys, because I cannot do it all alone. I do need the support, and it's all for free, but I do need the support, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is this something that you like? Is this like, was this a good sculpture? Did you learn something yourself? Let me know in the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye for now, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody. Bye bye.